Hey, my friends. There's a new announcement, and it said that they now want to change the payment system in the marketplace. And many people are confused about this. They don't know what to think about this. Some are outraged, while others are quite happy about the changes. And since many people wrote they need an economic degree in order to understand the changes or what the changes will do to the game or why exactly they did this, since sometimes the way the developers phrase certain things in the announcement isn't quite clear um, to the most of the people. So let's just get right into it. Basically, they wrote that Heroes and Empires will officially change the marketplace payment mechanism. So what does it mean? Currently, that's what they said. The market is unfavorable for both the HE and the hero prices, since hero NFTs are minted on a daily basis, which is good, but the prices aren't too great, and basically most of the people minting NFTs, minting hero NFTs, make a loss, since you pay 50 HE to get it, and you may end up with a common hero that's worth 10 to 20 HE, so it's not quite worth summoning right now. I didn't do a single summon in weeks, so I don't quite understand why most others do. um, basically, then there's this other point which I will get right into in a bit, and as a result, they want to change the payment methods entirely to BNB, meaning in the marketplace you don't buy a hero with HE token, meaning let's say you want to get that epic hero which costs 900 HE, then in the future it'll be X amount of BNB, which could be 0.0001 BNB, which could be 1 BNB, which could be 5 BNB, whatever. This will be up to the market and the players to determine the prices. So basically, you won't be paying with HE anymore in the marketplace. So it has benefits and it has disadvantages. So the named advantages from the devs is you won't be having to convert BNB to HE now to buy the heroes on the marketplace, which is okay, I guess. For new players, that's true. If you're longer in the game, then you already have the HE, so it's an argument, okay, but it shouldn't be having too much of a great impact. Next is quite interesting, actually. The fluctuations of HE will not be a barrier for users who want to enter the game if they use BNB to trade, and I think that's true. Since I myself, I made a couple of videos on building guides, on good teams and compositions that are great, etc., etc., and it doesn't quite work like that anymore. Since I tried to make a budget team for like $100, $200, and I tried making great teams where I just look at great rares that work together. But the problem is when the HE price drops by 50% in like 2 or 3 days, then it doesn't really make sense, and it's against the sense of the purpose of the video, since the price drops so fast, so hard, that when I release the video, it's already not quite actual anymore. So it's not really up to date once I release it. So I think that's a pretty good change in terms of this point, since now new players will pay in BNB. The price doesn't change that much. Sometimes it's like maybe 10% or even 30%, but BNB usually doesn't fluctuate as much as HE. So I can understand it from that perspective. So let's get into the last point. When the trading method is changed to BNB, the HE market will no longer be under selling pressure as it was previously. And that's the point that made most people reading this confused. And I think let's get into this, see what they write here. but I think they didn't write anything good in here. Yes, okay. So basically, right now, let's say the price is at 13 cents, okay? And someone sells, someone is selling a hero, okay? Hero sale. And they sell Epic for 1000 HE. So there's a tax. Which is about 5%. I think it's a bit less, but let's just act as if it was 5%. So we have to take 5% of this and see. There's 50 HE, which is currently going to the market, right? So that's how the system currently works. So someone sells an Epic for 1000 HE, and 50 of that HE will go to the marketplace. Market share. So that's basically what the team gets, right? So 50 of that would go to the team, and 950 will go to the player. So who sold the Epic. So there'll be people now watching this video be saying, oh, the devs are so greedy, they take 5% and they take it into their own pockets. But in reality, this 50 HE will be used for the gas fees. Since every single sale on the market is a transaction on the blockchain, meaning there'll be gas fees for the team or for the people using all of this. And this will be covered by the share that goes to the market. So basically, from this transaction alone, 50 will go to the team wallet, to the market wallet, basically. And this 50 HE, market wallet. Okay, one sec. Let's just make it like this. So basically 50 will be in the market wallet at the end of the day. And this 50 HE is something that the team or the developers have to exchange to BNB to cover the cost, since the gas fees are paid in BNB. It's the Binance Smart Chain, so they have to pay BNB to cover the gas fees of the contract exchanges, meaning this will be turned into turns to BNB. The problem with that is, whenever a transaction is done, at the end of the day, the HE will be turned to BNB, which means every single day 50 HE would be sold to get BNB, which means 5% of all the sales that are done on the marketplace, the revenue of that at the end of the day will be converted to BNB, and as such will be selling HE and buying BNB, which means the price of HE will drop by that amount and the price of BNB will go up by that amount, since the developers don't use their own money to cover the cost of the transactions, which is totally fine, right? Like they basically have their some wallets, and in these wallets the HE token is vested, and can't be taken out for now. So they don't quite make any money in terms of HE. So there needs to be some HE somewhere to cover the transaction cost, or at least BNB or whatever. And as such, the marketplace takes a 5% transaction fee, and that transaction fee is HE. And this HE will be sold to BNB. But the problem with that is that at the end of the day, there will always be HE sold, and the market basically sells 5% of every single transaction that is done. In this example, it's 50 HE, which is not that much, but just imagine that I do this sale, right? So this is the first transaction, number one. And then somebody else buys this for 950, but he isn't quite satisfied with this. So he decides to sell this epic for 1000, since that's what he bought it for, right? So he's selling it for 1000 HE, and basically does the same. So he only gets 950, next player buys it again, sells it again, and so on and so forth. So let's just imagine there would be plenty of players who buy this character and then sell it again. Well, there shouldn't be any issue in terms of the market share, right? But in reality, that's not the case, right? In reality, all this, the whole sum of all these transactions, all these 5%, every single transaction will have accumulated a certain amount of HE, which is 400, and all this has to be turned into BNB. And the wallet of the market will do that at some point. So every time you make a sale on the marketplace, there will be a slight drop in the HE value. And the more people sell and buy on the market, the more HE will be sold. You could argue that, of course, the player 1 who got 950 HE will sell that as well, but chances are he's using that to get another team, or to get an upgrade, or to use it in the game. While the 50 HE that the market gets will always be sold. So 5% of all sales on the market, on the entire market, will be sold, no matter what happens. And if there's a lot of trading done in the market, then there'll be a huge accumulation of HE in the marketplace that will be sold at the end of the day. So that's basically what they wanted to tell us when they said there will be no longer underselling pressure as it was previously, or a portion of the HE drop price drop is due to a 5% swap of HE profits from marketplace to BNB as hero minting fee. So basically that's what you got to keep in mind, right? So naturally they don't convert all of the transaction fees, but they have to cover some for the Binance Smartchain contract exchanges, which is, for example, hero minting, or the transaction itself, or ascending maybe, right? So it has to be covered from somewhere, right? So if now, for example, they take 10 HE to ascend a hero, but in reality it costs, let's say, 0.0x BNB, which is 20 HE and not 10 at current prices, then they don't charge you 20 all of a sudden. They should still charge you 10 HE, but the remaining 10 HE needs to come from somewhere, so they use the market tax HE from that perspective. So it may not all that mean that all is being sold, but a huge portion is, and I think currently almost everything is being sold that's accumulating there, which means the sustainability won't be too great if we want to keep the price of the market high. So Uh, I think it's a decent change. My feelings are quite mixed since, of course, if you can't sell the HE anymore, that you or if you can't use HE anymore to buy heroes in the marketplace, then there's less of an incentive to hold HE, right? Since there's some players who save up HE to buy better heroes at some point, and there wouldn't be any incentive to do that, so players would just sell the HE right away, get BNB, and then buy with a BNB. What this selling would be done in the beginning and not the end. So I'm not too sure about the changes. So I tried finding some examples on how it was done in other games, and for that I directly translated it to the Axie Infinity marketplace system, and I realized that it's pretty much the same system, right? Since you have your axes, and these axes need to be resold if you breed them. So you sell your axie, and you don't sell your axie for AXS or SLP, but you sell it for ETH, wrapped ETH, to be precise. And with that wrapped ETH, you can later exchange it to AXS or SLP again, but you sell it, right? And you get something else with that later on. But in the marketplace, the exchanges are only done with ETH and not with AXS, and I think that naturally makes the AXS coin more stable. In our system, it's a bit different since the HE token is the in-game token and the governance token at the same time, meaning HE is SLP and AXS at the same time. But yeah, the team themselves said that they are trying to work new solutions for this, meaning there'll be new use cases for the HE. But I think it's not too bad of a change, since at the end of the day, players don't depend as much on the HE earnings in game as before. Let's say you earned, let's say you had 20 HE that you were getting as an income every single day that you could spend for getting heroes. So you could say after 1 month you would be having 600 left over HE to get new heroes. So before you could say, okay, that's not too much, I can only get one epic hero and maybe I want more. But now, if the price of HE increases, you'll be able to get more heroes with that, since the BNB price will be stable and the HE price may go higher. So if you save up HE and the price goes up, then you can get more heroes of that. While right now it doesn't really change at all. If you see a hero that's in there for 600 HE, then you either wait to save it or someone else buys it. But if the price of HE goes up, then you still need that amount of HE to get it, and if it goes down, you still need that amount of HE to get it as well. So either way, there's no big difference, and I think if they play it smart and find nice, decent ways to have use cases for the HE that we earn, then I think it may actually make sense to hold more HE in the future, and that would naturally lead to a price increase as well. But currently you can't just tell if this is a good thing or a bad thing. It really depends on what the dev team is doing with that, so my feelings are mixed as well. Of course, it's good that this 5% swap fee is not being sold anymore, so that's definitely a good thing. But we still have to work around ways to have some use cases for the HE. Maybe you can upgrade your heroes further with HE, or I don't know. There needs to be some more use cases for it. since right now most of the HE purchases come from people who want to enter the game and get heroes. In the future, they would be completely gone. There would be only people buying BNB and no HE basically for hero purchases, so that could definitely be negative as well. So really looking forward to what's going to happen in the future. They do have a pretty decent team. They are not quite fluent in English, but they're they're doing their job pretty decent, and I think they could make this work, but it's really hard to tell at this point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and kind of understood what they wanted to tell us. Basically, I have mixed feelings as well. Tell me what you think in the comments, and we'll discuss as always and see where this goes.